Welcome back, Horlings, to more Syberia. We're here in a new section of the game known as Barrockstadt. Oh my goodness, killer cuckoo birds. Options here. Those mammoths.
That thing looks like the winding machine I used in the Valladolid station. I've got to find a way of getting the train up here.
Place looks like it got bombed by the US.
Kate Walker! Kate Walker!
Oh shit.
Come over here, please! I have something to say to you!
Get back on the train, buddy. We're gonna ignore Oscar for now. We got shit to do.
That looks broken.
Kind of like everything in this town.
No point. It's locked. No point. It's locked. can't go that way.
Locked in here forever.
Hello.
You arrived by train, I see.
Yes, I've come from Valadilen.
It's been a long time since I've seen a train here. Students, did you bring students with you?
No, I traveled alone. Well, almost alone.
I remember around the start of fall, trains would bring kids from all around the world here to study zoology and botany, paleontology, and all that stuff. This was a great university.
And it isn't still great today, then?
Today, well,
Make Barrockstadt great again.
I feel like I've lost my way a little here. I could really do with your help.
hey, anything I can do, miss, you just let me know.
I'm sorry to junk up your station like this, but the spring mechanism on my train needs winding.
A spring-operated locomotive, there's a thing.
Yeah, and an impractical thing, too.
Yeah, I always dreamed of taking a train, but now I'm over the hill. And someone has to take care of the birds, after all.
All these birds in a station. It's amazing.
This is no ordinary station, miss. Oh, no. These birds are part of the prestigious University of Barrockstadt Ornithological Collection. Over the years, this aviary has housed some of the most fantastic species from all over the world. And I am not exactly your typical station master either. This little world is my responsibility, and that is no easy task.
I can well believe you.
And you know what's the hardest? The hardest thing is to keep interspecial harmony. And one day some explorer introduced a couple of cuckoos from the Amazon. Whoa!
It wasn't a good idea?
A nightmare! You know, cuckoos lay their eggs in the nests of other species, right? Now, what's more, they also push the host's eggs out of the nest so that they receive all the mother's attention, right? Accursed cuckoos. Nightmare.
I see what you mean. That's one tricky bird. And there was nothing you could do to stop it?
The faculty declared the bird a protected species. If it wasn't for our mechanical eagle, we were sitting on a major ornithological catastrophe.
You have an automaton here?
A wonder of technology. It's an eagle that's mounted on rails in the air. It passes through and it swoops down to collect parasite eggs. But heck, the dang eagle's been out of order for several years. Impossible to collect the eggs myself.
Why not?
I can't climb up the gangway. I fell off it several months back and I still have a pain in my spine. Not to mention the vertigo I've been getting. I only have to look up in the air. Whoa.
You poor soul. That must be very hard.
Worst thing is, cuckoo eggs piling up in the nests. Soon the rectors are gonna notice. There's trouble in store, big trouble. I'm worried. Yep, worried.
The name Hans Vorarlberg doesn't mean anything to you by chance, does it?
Oh, do you really think I'd remember one little name from the thousands that pass through this station?
You don't know where I might find equipment to wind up my train springs, do you?
Not in this station, that's for sure. And I would know. You might want to try near the wall. So, thinking of staying for long, miss?
No. I mean, I don't know, actually. 1 or 2 days tops. You see, I've got to wind my train back up so that I can continue my journey.
It's just, if you stay here too long, I might get in trouble. The train should stop, then leave again. That's the rule. Besides, your machine's disturbing the birds.
Maybe you could take me up to this wall? If there were 2 of us, we could find what I need to wind up my train even quicker.
Miss, forgive me, I gotta stick to the rules. You know, I have to man the station. I don't want to get into trouble with my superiors at the university. You understand?
Alright, this guy's a useless
I won't
bastard.
disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
Let's see what Oscar was wanting.
Yes, Oscar, what is it?
A message has arrived for you.
A message?
You have been summoned to see the rectors. They are the highest authority at the university. They want to talk to you.
Talk to me?
Yes, to the person responsible for the train.
So, I'm in charge now, sure, okay. But why would these gentlemen want to see me at all?
They do not say why, just that it's very important.
Alrighty then. It's not a whole hell of a lot of information, but... Now this door is open. I don't think this is where the people are. Kate's gonna be in great fucking shape by the end of this game. A lot of screens to explore.
Hey there! On the boat!
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle.
My husband say, "Hello, young lady. You want to talk to us?"
It must be really neat to travel by river.
Oh, schlechte Boot. Eine vergette das Grund. Für mich, locker ist fantastica. Eine kleine Rot mit Ustet, okay. You guide.
Excuse me?
My husband say he like his barge and he not like your train. Too noisy. If you want to travel in tin can, you stay in tin can.
Sure.
Tell your husband he's a fuck nugget.
I have a little problem with my train. It's kind of broken. I've absolutely got to get it out of the station. Do you think you could tow it over to the wall with your barge?
Lock closed. Barge blocked.
But if the locks were open, would it be okay to tow my train then?
Perché no? More money for that werk.
Da, it's possible. My husband say we help you if you give money.
Right. And how much do you want?
$50.
He want $150.
$150? I don't have that much.
No money, no barge.
Let me offer you $75.
Nay, $125.
Out of the question. $100 and not a dime more.
Correct. You have barge for $100.
Great. Now, don't move. I'll be back as quick as possible with the money. I'll leave you to it. I won't disturb you again.
До свидания.
Alright, so we need to get a C note. That's what we call it here in the States. We call a $100 bill a C note. Really cool saber-tooth tiger and mammoth statues.
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party? You sure looking mighty fine. Love those big round eyes.
Just who do you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I'd like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, Zol. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw me.
Showed him. Holy shit, now this is a library. Amerizon Memoirs of an Expedition. The red Amerizon cuckoo, the subspecies of the common Cuculus canuus, is endemic in the Amazon forest and is one of the region's most brightly colored species. The male's plumage is bright vermilion, while the female's is a little more quiescent and neutral. The red cuckoo inhabits more isolated and denser areas of the Amazon forest. It is violent on the thick upper foliage of the rainforest to live its lonely existence. explorer may nevertheless have an excellent view of the bird when the animal ventures to lower branches in search of forest Sauvignon grapes. The wild vines provide the bird with the majority of its food, and the cuckoo is particularly partial to its juicy fruit. The red cuckoo may sometimes gorge itself on this fruit to the point of drunkenness, rendering it an easy prey for any jungle predator. Eat and then be eaten, such is the implacable law of nature. Like other species of cuckoo, the red Amazon cuckoo delegates the task of raising its young to other birds. Its parasitic behavior enables the species to reproduce prolifically and with minimal effort. Female cuckoo scouts its territory on the lookout for a nest under construction. She chooses the moment when its owners are absent to lay her eggs. Generally in the afternoon, the host, meanwhile, will lay mainly in the morning. After laying an egg in her selected nest, the female will remove one of the host eggs and destroy it or eat it later. Cuckoo's eggs generally hatch before the eggs of its adopted brothers and sisters. The cuckoo chick will instinctively edge the other eggs from the nest. The young cuckoo grows fast. Sometimes its foster parents will perch on the back of a hungry chick to feed it. Even if the cuckoo's eggs is very different to the smaller host eggs, it nevertheless mimics the host egg in certain ways, not perfectly, but just enough to be accepted by most species. The red cuckoo's love of the grape could sadly prove fatal for the species in the medium term. European settlers who've tried to cultivate the grape on the Amazonian alluvial plains have decimated the Amazon red cuckoo population. Grape producers, to protect their harvest from what they would call invertebrate looting, I can barely read these, this cursive sucks, have declared all-out war on the birds. It is to be feared that the cuckoo will be on the losing side. The red cuckoo reproduces relatively well and is one of the jewels of the crown of the Barrockstadt University ornithological collections. However, scientists at the university have their own reservations about the species and its propensity to become practically invasive whenever conditions are favorable, to the detriment of other rarer species. Heads of the Barrockstadt Aviary have therefore undertaken a policy of birth control to attempt to balance out nature's imperfections in this artificial environment. The forest Sauvignon grape. Today it is very rare to find the forest Sauvignon grape in the wild. The species has been decimated by a terrible equatorial phytological epidemic. However, in Europe, successful cultivation of the plant is the pride of the Barrockstadt University botany collection and has largely contributed to the survival of the species around the world. Bet y'all didn't know that shit. The more you know. Education from the GameHorder channel. Who would have thought? This place almost has as many books as I do. This kind of looks like my PC game collection. Wouldn't that be badass? Plants and mushrooms. The Yangala is a mushroom without stem that has a chewy texture. It is a member of the polypod family and grows exclusively on the trunks of certain trees of Amazonian jungle. What is edible when young, the Yangala has a woody texture and insipid flavor that offers no great culinary appeal. Native Amazonian tribes, however, are very attached to the mushroom. Why they are so fond of the fungus has taken extensive scientific research to elucidate. Biologists have reached the conclusion that the Yangala contains a special substance that is unique to the mushroom. The substance significantly affects vision and enhances its acuteness enormously. Amazonian Indian hunters discovered this effect and started using it centuries ago. The Yangala is dried and ground to a powder and consumed before the hunt commences. Its effect is instantaneous, and the penetration of the hunter's vision increases extraordinarily. The hunter is then able to aim and hit targets concealed behind thick undergrowth, even over great distances. So it basically is a dexterity potion, if you will. Take your time, Kate. We got all day. Alright, let's head out of here for now. These douche nozzles.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
As rectors of this university, we have
You guys are
serious matters to
rectums, not
attend to, and our
rectors.
time is precious.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The wall? Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we
I think this is a
praise the
tribute to the three
existence of
pirates
that
from Monkey
particular
Island.
edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
Some sailors have agreed to tow the train, but I don't have enough money to pay them. I was wondering if you could help me out. For a while. I could work for the money.
Please wait, miss. We have certain confibulations to attend to.
That is right. We must confibulate between ourselves. A collegiate decision must be taken.
I hope that we are not indisposing you in any way.
Why not?
If it helps us get rid of that train.
My word, that is a fine idea.
What do you have in mind, gentlemen?
When you arrived here, you must have noticed a splendid bandstand which honors the main university courtyard.
A unique piece of mechanical craftsmanship which no longer works, alas.
Why, yes, we have very moving memories of its melodies. We're prepared to offer you a financial reward if you can set it working again.
With pleasure. What do I have to do?
Unfortunately, my dear, time and rust have taken their toll on this university, and our automatons no longer have a spring in their step. You are going to have to be resourceful.
To tell you the truth, there are a number of complex mechanisms here in Barrockstadt, and it would appear that we have unfortunately lost their operating instructions.
Your train, however, is an extremely ingenious invention, so you should be no stranger to complex mechanisms, should you? We are therefore counting on your ingenuity, miss.
I hope that I can show myself worthy of your faith in me, gentlemen.
Well, my dear colleagues, one more university matter nicely tied up.
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Vorarlberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that. But bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Vorarlberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Vorarlberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on
you're like
once he learned
70?
all he needed to know about mammoths.
That's
This
not
establishment
right.
was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? All that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
Here we are, busy chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
Already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
And thank you, gentlemen.
These guys are all morons. Alright folks, that wraps it up for this episode. Stay tuned for more Syberia.